Afternoon. She's in fits of laughter already. So, welcome to the Yorkshire Dolly Mixtures. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Ally. And this is number 3. Don't know if you can't see all my fingers there, can you? 3.
I can see them.
Yeah, well that's because they're right next to you.
Why did you just go like that?
Because that's more of a... There you go, 3. FlossTube number 3.
Oh my giddy aunt.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them days.
Right, as you can see, new spot.
Yes.
Definitely brighter. Do you know what?
What?
Look at the picture. The reflection in my glasses. Tough. Not in yours, but they are in mine.
That's because you're slightly bigger than me. Taller.
Only just.
Only just, yeah, but I'm sitting on a cushion and you're still higher up than me. I've got a booster seat this week.
So, hope you've missed us. Once again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the subscribers, the likes, the views. We're quite,
yeah, and all the mentions we've been getting as well.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. You know, it's much appreciated.
We're getting quite it's like a daily, in fact it's not even a daily thing, it's like every other hour you're going in and checking, see if we get any more subscribers, how many views have we had, how many comments.
It's becoming an obsession.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't wear off anytime soon.
I don't know. I hope it carries on. So,
yeah.
But only you can guarantee that. So the more that watches, the more we'll do.
Yeah. We'll just sit here and keep talking.
Good at that.
Yeah.
We're very good at that.
Yeah, we are. Spent a lot of time talking yesterday.
Can we mention, is it Stitchy Sally?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the mention on your FlossTube. For people that have never heard of Stitchy Sally, what I'll do is I'll link below. Or should I say I'll get my daughter to link below. Yeah, which is good. Oh, yeah. There's another mention as well. Julie Horn. Yeah, you asked about Agnes, Agnes' husband. I do have a photograph somewhere, and if I can't get it posted in here, I'll bring it next time. Yeah, when we do another one in 2 weeks' time. But I have definitely got a photograph of the grave and the, what do they call them? Gravestones. Yeah,
it's a family grave, isn't it?
It is, it's a big family grave, so there's quite a lot of information on there, but the light's not very good, and when we went last year, we went up and had another look, and it was worse than it was the year before, unfortunately. So I could do with doing a rubbing, you know, like you used to do at school.
Yeah, yeah, we
So,
used to take you to local big church.
Yeah, get a big piece of paper and
carvings and stuff.
Do a rubbing.
Yeah,
but that'd be good. But I can't imagine my husband wanting to do a rubbing in it. Graveyard, just me and him.
Well, if you find me in the boot of the car.
Oh yeah, because you keep saying you're going to get in the boot of the car, aren't you?
Can I just give a little shout out to my lovely friend Joey as well, on the discussion we had about Anne of Green Gables. I did mention the books to my friend here yesterday, and she didn't look all that impressed, but I'll keep on at her, because she's seen, actually that's what spoiled the surprise for you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I've seen some of the series, but not all of it. And then she tells me somebody dies.
Yeah.
I'm going to say who, just in case
No.
you've never watched it. But, yeah.
I would-
went, what?
I was saying that there's two books from my childhood, two books that made me cry were Anne of Green Gables and Little Women books. And still, even if I go back and read them now, they still make me cry all these years later. And I think if a book makes you cry, it's
a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Hello Millie, you back again?
We've got little visitors today. So don't be surprised if you suddenly get a furry head pop up.
Or a tail.
Or a tail, yeah. My cats are wandering. She's going to make herself comfortable on the chair over there. Oh, delightful. So,
Getting to the home now.
Yeah. So, what have you been working on?
So what have I been working on? So this past 2 weeks I have been working diligently on my... I'm actually quite pleased that she seems to have forgotten that she was threatening to have a Yoda down here for this week.
I can always get one.
No, don't. It's alright. So, yeah, I've done quite...
Look at that picture. Perfect.
What?
The picture with the light.
Yes. There you go, you can see it. So I've started, I think since you last saw it, I have stitched this little lass here. I've done all the shading underneath, little cat, and I've started this chap on the sled.
Believe it or not, that is a foot and a leg.
All will be revealed
It
when
does
you
look
see it
rude,
again in 2
but
weeks.
it isn't. It's a foot and a leg.
Yeah. So that's where I've got to. So it's coming along, and even though it's 1/1, I'm actually managing it okay. My eyes have been okay with it. So, and despite the history of it, I'm enjoying doing it. So yeah.
Do you think I'm helping with the history of it, as in making light of it? Does that make sense?
Maybe. Or it might just be that the time is right for me to...
It's all about her, isn't it?
But
Right.
yes, I'm enjoying it.
Good.
So what have you been working on?
What have I been working on? Right. Firstly, my number 8 for Roll the Dice, which is Mary 395 by Hats. So Hands Across the Sea samplers. I meant to roll it back down, but you can just see the... Do you know what? Talk amongst yourselves.
She's gonna hit me.
I'm not going to hit her. I'm not a violent person, honestly. Don't pick on me today.
I can't get me. I said to you I wasn't going to have any problems with my straw.
Oh, here we go. Please don't start talking to it again.
That's better. I can actually get something out the straw now. Oops, sorry.
Are you sorry for?
Because I dunted you.
Hold, please. Hey.
Don't know what she's doing.
I'm just moving it so you can see the top row properly.
Okay.
So even though the top row is the only row that I had finished in the previous videos and all the others were part rows, I have been busy, you know.
I know.
In between work.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to employ me
Or me.
as a full-time sewer, but I have to earn a good wage to keep me in the lifestyle I've become accustomed to.
If anybody wants to sell their stitching business for tuppence halfpenny, we can probably just about afford that.
Tuppence halfpenny. Right, I better move you out of the way. There we go.
Come here. Just put it over there so it's not dangling.
Where's it gone?
Don't know, it came over your way.
It's gone.
No, it's not. Oh, there it is. I thought it was attached.
No, it's not attached. Right, here we go. There you go. You can see it a lot better. So the top row was already finished. I have finished the second, third and fourth and started the fifth row. No, they can't see you, love.
They can. Calm down. Carry on.
So yeah, so I've done really well. Keeping them going. There we go. So I've been working on that. And then Scotland last week.
Oh, you were in Scotland?
I was in Scotland last week, and my husband was going to see Stranraer play, and it was Easter, and so we went up on Good Friday, and they were playing on Saturday. So we stayed in Dumfries Friday night and made us way up to Stranraer Saturday morning. And he was right excited because he needed to go visit the pub. And the Stranraer have got their own supporters pub. So we went and sat down there, and it went, oh, it's really nice and bright here. I could do my stitching. Oh, I know what, I'll stay here while you go to match and sit and drink gin teas, which were a bad idea at the time, and I'll show you why in 1 second. So after he'd gone to football, I was surrounded by older gentlemen, let's say. One of them come up to me in his lovely Scottish accent. What are you doing? Is that knitting or is that crochet? Neither. It's cross stitch. So yeah, why do men just automatically assume if you sat sewing and they don't know any difference that it's got to be knitting or crochet?
Because they think that there are only 2 things that women can do. Well, 3. Knit, crochet and cook tea.
There is a 4th, but we won't go into that. But
I don't know what you mean.
And then I had another little old gentleman asking me to sew him something. And I said, I'm really sorry, but I'm only visiting.
What did he want you to sew him?
I haven't the foggiest. But it wore it.
Might have been a button on his shirt.
No, he was looking at it.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I was doing cow pile.
Yes.
Which you saw a picture of last time. And this is where I got to in the pub. Now, this second cow, this is why you don't drink and sew at the same time, is out by 1 stitch. So all that second cow has to come out.
So gin has the same effect really as morphine.
Yeah, but not everybody's going to be having morphine every day, are they? Whereas gin, oh yeah. So all that has got to come out. So as you can imagine, I wasn't right impressed. So it hasn't been touched since I came back from Scotland on Sunday. So yeah. So that's one out of the way. I can go on the floor now.
So have you stitched on anything else?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, well, go on then.
I don't.
Because this is going to lead into something else. That's why I'm telling you.
Oh. Right. A few years ago, I got my head into doing I can't speak today. Heaven and Earth designs, which are full coverage. And on the 29th of February 2020, which was a leap year, we decided to do a new start for the leap year, and we have until the next leap year to finish it. Now I'm doing an elephant stampede because I love elephants. Bearing in mind this is 2 years worth of work, and the total amount of stitches. Why are you laughing?
Wait till they see my 2 years worth of work.
So the whole picture is 260,000 stitches. I've done 15,000.
I think it looks rather good for 2 years' work.
Yeah.
But it's not been continuous 2 years.
Obviously. I don't know whether to carry on with it. I really don't.
I think you should.
It's definitely not going to be finished in 2 years. No way, Jose. Because I like my samplers too much.
But you like your elephants.
I know.
And it will look pretty spectacular on the wall. And it breaks up the samplers a bit.
So it might happen to go into storage again. So I did get it out yesterday, and I took it. We had an impromptu lunch date with one of our friends who's not rather well. So we went to cheer her up, and we had lunch with her yesterday and took her stitching with us.
At the Red Line, of course.
Oh, of course. And I managed to get 400 stitches in it yesterday. So, thanks to Pattern Keeper. I like Pattern Keeper for that, because you can see how many stitches you've done. So I don't know whether I carry on with it or not. Let me know your views in the comments below. Okay, because as you know, I do like my samplers, which you're going to see a few more soon. So come on then, let's have a look at yours.
Okay, so I get roped into this leap year project as well, and everybody was choosing big projects, and I thought, well,
the thought was 4 years. Yeah, we'll be able to do it in 4 years.
Yeah. So I decided to go for a big one as well, and I went for this, which is Castle Sampler by Teresa Wensley. So I love it. I've had it for years. I've always said I would do it, and this seemed the ideal opportunity to pull it out and do something. So yeah. So in the 2 years that we've been working on it,
Oh, as usual, needle sticking out.
so bearing in mind I've been working on this for 2 years, that's how far I've got.
We've got a line.
I can show you exactly where it is on there if you want. It's actually, hang on, I'll put my specs on. It is It's either that line there or that line there. But I can't
Look,
remember
she can't even remember which line it is.
It's the one closest to the middle.
See ya. No, do. I need to show them. So it's either that line there or that line there.
But this being one of the original
Cripes.
she's just seen what you guys are going to see.
I don't envy her.
It's as all of Teresa Wentzler's original designs were. They were all hand drawn.
All right, don't show too much. You know, copyright.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah. So I may pull it out and do. I think it's actually that line there, or it might be that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So yeah. So that's my leap year project. So I think it's fair to say that the chances of me actually getting this finished in 2 years,
It ain't gonna happen.
it ain't gonna happen. But I will die trying, or I may not. But I'm falling heir to some more Teresa Wentzler's next week.
Oh yeah.
So,
You've been gifted some.
yes. So you'll see them in the next instalment.
I know.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Right, what's next?
Acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
Mm.
I've got acquisitions. Only just though, I only got it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I've been with Patchwork Rabbit, which is based in the UK, and they've been doing the monthly Nutcracker Village. So I've just got this month's instalment, which is that one. Can't even remember what it's called.
The Nutcracker. No, it's the.
Oh, it's
It's
Snow
the
Queen's Ice Cream Parlour.
Oh right. I didn't even see that bit. Probably didn't have my specs on.
No, come on. And then 2 of the threads. So, the question is, do I stitch it as one big piece or do it as smalls?
If you do it as smalls, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Christmas smalls.
Yes. You could have seasonal smalls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. So that is the only thing that I've got this week, but I have got some other stuff coming in the post that I ordered on Monday, but it hasn't arrived yet. Now, yeah, no, I'm just getting to that.
Okay.
She's gone. So as I mentioned last time, we were doing. I've got Sarah Brazier, and she was upstairs. There we go, the lovely Sarah Brazier. So quite impressed with that, and I really do want to start it. And look at this. I did start kitting it up because my friend that's not so well, she's actually got a copy of it as well. So I had started kitting it up. What are you looking at?
I just can hear this little knocking noise.
I think it's next door.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I do apologise if you can hear it. Now the fabric, I did have the perfect fabric for it, but I ended up using it for Ever Flowering Garden by Owl Forest. So I need to get a really big piece of fabric now to sort it out, and then I can make some kind of start with it, which is good. So are you happy now that I've shown her? Are you sure?
I'm absolutely ecstatic.
There's not like sarcasm, is there?
Right. Product placement.
Right. And last week I were on about the smalls that I wanted to do. Obviously I haven't got very far with the smalls, but I was telling you about the box that I wanted to put them into. So here we are. When we first went into lockdown, the company I worked for at the time, which is a sister company to the one I'm working for now, sent us out a hamper, and it was Yorkshire foods and what have you in the hamper. It was lovely. But this was the box that it came in, and I thought, I know what I want to do with that. You know, I can't afford a big old-fashioned dough ball. Well, not at the moment, because obviously nobody's employing me to do sewing. But yeah, so I thought, oh, smalls will go in there, they'll go in perfect. And it was stained like that when I got it, so, but you won't see that one's stuffer in it. It's just like a plywood, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's nice, it looks nice.
So that's my box. Very rustic looking. So on that note, Ali thought it was a very good idea, she's still packing away, to bring her smalls to show you all and to see what she stores her smalls in. And she's just rearranging it all for you.
There we go. So this is displayed up in my craft room, and it's just
Oh, great.
it's a cupcake stand, and the majority of what is in there has all been stitched for me by other people. So biscornoos in biscorno exchanges and things, and needle rolls and stuff like that. So it's a nice way. Every time I'm in the craft room, I see them and I look at them and I think, oh yeah, such and such. Like you heard me mention Joe earlier. Well, Joe did that needle roll for me. I can't remember how many years ago it was. I've still got it, Joe. So, and it was a spring exchange that we did on one of the groups. So, yeah, and it's a nice way to do it. And I think it's, as I said earlier, you can make it seasonal. If you've got enough smalls, you can display your smalls, spring, summer, autumn, winter, Halloween, whatever. So yeah, it's just a nice way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, I was just seeing this one to Ali from Val.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, is that?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Nice Scottish thistle.
It's just a little needlebook.
Yeah, this one's got a date on the back of it as well.
Yeah.
2004 Valentine exchange.
And that was Karen. I told you I can remember who sent them. And she wasn't going to send me that. She sent me something else, which I also have hanging up in the craft room. I think that was Val that did that one as well. Val did quite a few of these.
I'd love to do a gift exchange. I've said that before.
Yeah, we were going to do an Easter one,
and
weren't
then,
we? And then
lockdown
happened.
appeared.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to do a gift exchange, something like, because you see all the Americans doing it.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that they stitch is just absolutely stunning. Especially the primitive style stuff, because that's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but these are gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, I love doing biscornos. And because we were doing that Easter exchange, we were going to do it. And I like doing needle rolls as well. Not done a needle roll since I don't know when. In fact, I think the last needle roll I did was in this exchange, and I think Joe got it.
Right.
Or someone else got it, I can't remember. Might be Michelle that got it. But yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
see what you can do with a little bit of imagination.
Mm. And it's, I mean, you go into charity shops or thrift shops as they are in the USA and Canada, and I quite often will go in and I'll see something and I think, I could use that. And it's usually either something to do with knitting, stitching or crochet. In fact, when I used to volunteer with a charity over here, and things would get handed in, and quite often the girls would go, Ally would like that. So I'd come into work and they would say, oh, there's something through the back for you. And it would be something that's, I mean, I got a whole collection of cry knit threads that were handed in, and they took one look at them and went, oh, Ally can have them. So,
wow, very lucky. There you go,
okay.
Mrs.
Thank you.
So that's somewhere. That's gonna fall.
It's alright, I'll move my hamper back.
Ooh. I just have visions of everything going bang, and then a cat flying because she's been scared.
Oh, she's fast asleep.
She's fast asleep, thankfully.
Bless her.
So
I'll just have a quick
yeah.
slurp.
When Alice said she was going to bring us smalls, I had visions. Visions? You know, big knickers.
Big knickers. I'm only small. You saying I'll get a big ass?
For Americans, smalls are knickers. Panties.
Drawers.
Lingerie.
Pantaloons.
Pantaloons, yeah. So we decided, because you were all impressed, and I love my new nickname. Some of you have started calling me. Have you seen my new nickname on some of the comments?
Is it clean?
Yes.
I've not been given a nickname yet. Hold me back.
I'm called Sampler Queen. I don't know why.
No, I can't think. Makes you wonder what they'll call me. Oh.
Okay, did you hurt your back then?
Yeah, my back's twingy.
So we thought we'd carry on where we left off last week, going through some of our finishes to see how we go.
Okay.
Shall I start first?
You start.
Because I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah, go on then. I remember
Because
you doing this one.
you remember me doing this one. This is Coming to My Garden. Not in. Is it?
I don't know. It's upside down.
It's Blackbird. There we go. I'm sure it's Coming to My Garden. But because it's Blackbird and they're not reproduction samplers, you can really do what you want with them. So I dedicated this to Christine Atkinson, 1947. Now, Christine Atkinson was my stitching buddy for many, many, many years. So Christine Atkinson is actually my mum, and I dedicated that to her, and I love it. I really do need to get it, as with everything framed. So yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I do. I like that one.
Yeah.
I just love the way the border goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Well, borders do go all the way around, but it's just the way, especially the bits in the corners. They just look. It's a very unusual border.
And as you can tell, more fabric.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a very, very special one to me. And it's all done in the called for as well. Weeks Dye Works. So yeah, quite happy with that one. So I definitely need to get it. The lighting's definitely better here, isn't it? There we go.
Okay.
Next. Like to say when I picked her up today, I can't remember what I showed last time.
So this one was, it was a kit that was gifted to me by someone. They had quite a few.
All right.
It was Helen Phillips, is a designer who used to design for some of the magazines. I think she mostly does quilting now. I follow her on Instagram and she seems to do more quilting now.
So was it the UK magazines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was just a little, it's just like a little winter sampler, if you like.
Cute is that?
It is dead cute.
Sorry about that.
We did it as a round robin.
Oh,
So it's been stitched on by, you can see the initials
oh yeah.
that have been stitched in by the other girls. So yeah, I love the wording in there.
Do people still do round robins?
I don't know, to be honest.
If you know, let us know.
But that one was, it was lovely to stitch. It was done with the threads that came with the kit. I changed the fabric out and I did it on my usual bone Joberlin 28
I was going to say
count.
it looks like bone.
Yeah. So yeah. So need to get that framed at some point.
By the way, that last one I did with Dr. Smith's tonic. Yeah, my favourite. Next. Oh, you're going to laugh at this. You can see what's coming up.
I can.
And can you see all that?
Yeah.
Now, this is morel. But it's more of a grey morel, not like... You wouldn't believe that looks the same, would you?
I know.
Yeah. But... Where is it? Right at the bottom. So it's a blackbird. And this is small.
It is, yeah. You could make that into a little pillow or something, couldn't you?
Yeah. I was thinking maybe doing the same size over here, putting the date on.
Uh-huh.
Obviously it'd have to be this year.
Yeah.
But that's last year's and I can't remember what colour I used.
It's variegated reference.
I know. I've got a feeling it might be the same one that I'm using for cows.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
What you could do is make it into a little pillow with a little bit of rickrack and then just a little bit, maybe some buttons or something.
Yeah. And it's got my initials on it. So, EK. If you're wondering, my name isn't actually Ellie, but everybody calls me Ellie. It's actually Eleanor. It's easy for everybody to just call me Ellie because the number of pronunciations of my name that are wrong and it really winds me up as I'm true. So, there we go.
I like that, it's so cute. But it's a hell of a lot of spare fabric.
Alright.
Me. So, as you know, I like Diane Graebner designs. And this was done quite a while ago. And I can't even remember the name of it because I've not got my book with me this week. Flying High. It's called Flying High.
You see, I remember telling you that my mum did a few of these.
Yeah.
Because I actually taught my mum how to stitch quite a few years ago before she passed away. But she did a few of these and my auntie's got them.
Yeah. I love this one. I think because she's in the middle and she's just all in black apart from the white apron, but then you've got all that colour surrounding her.
Yeah.
With the birds and the blossom and the flowers
Let's lift it up
on the
a bit.
gate.
There we go.
So it's one of my favourite pieces that I've done of hers. So, and surprisingly, I was saying to the girls yesterday when we were chatting with Diane Gravener, she usually has either a cat, a dog, or some geese in the picture, and there's absolutely none in this one at all. It's just her.
She's got bluebirds.
She's got bluebirds, yeah.
So it's definitely an animal there.
Yeah, but the other ones, especially the geese, are her signature.
All right. Well, she fancied a change. She wanted bluebirds instead.
Yeah, but it was one of my. Not only was it one of my favourites to stitch, but it's one of my favourite pieces, which beggars belief why it's still languishing in my finished hamper. But there you go.
My next one is a Little House Needleworks, and it's done on an opalescent 28 count by Sparklies, and it's the needleworker sign.
I like that fabric.
And look, it's central.
So it is. Yes.
But if I'd have put it further up, I'd have had loads of spare fabric, but never mind.
Could make that into a cushion as well.
I could. I think it'll look better on a sampler wall.
Yeah, it's quite samplerish, isn't it?
Yeah. So I started, I think I did this in 2019, did I? I'm sure I did.
You're like me, you don't put a date on
No.
yours.
But it's definitely before lockdown.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like that.
So we've got another Diane Gravener. Believe it or not.
It's green. Oh, it's green.
It's green. So
What do we think of when we think of green? I didn't say that.
Anywho, so this one is Milkweeds and Monarchs, done on 28 count. I think it was baby blue. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah. And with the called for DMCs. And this was in the very first roll of the dice that we did 2 years ago now.
Is it? I can't remember you even doing that.
Yeah, this was my roll of the dice, and I actually finished it. So there. I like the way that the girls that she does always have their faces hidden by the bonnets. We were talking about that yesterday as well.
We were, yeah.
And the
Amongst
boys,
other things.
if there's any boys, they have the hats on and the faces are just completely blank because the Amish do not like having their photographs taken.
Again, we have a Dr. Smith's tonic.
I thought I recognised that
Yep.
fabric.
And it's a blackbird design. There we go. All
I like that
joys for thine.
one. I like that one too.
Yeah. I mean, I could frame that one myself.
It's small enough, isn't it?
Yeah. So there we go. And I did it with the DMC called for. That one. So, yeah. So beautiful, beautiful. I was quite pleased with that one. And it didn't take that long to do either.
No.
One of my lockdown finishes. 2020, it's gone on it. It's got the date on that one.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth? Okay, she's getting a blanket out.
This was another round robin. It's back to front. And it was done, it's another Diane Gravener, and she did a series of little charts called Cats and Quilts. And the thinking was to make the 4 over at this end here into a cushion and maybe this into a bell pull.
Alright.
But as you can see, it's never been done. And it's got the girls' signatures on it as well that were in the round robin. I just love them.
Yeah,
Such pretty designs.
Yeah. Very good.
So yeah, and it's a hand-dyed fabric, but a massive piece of fabric.
2007, 2009,
2011,
2008, 2008,
and
2008.
there you go. So the 2011 probably would be me.
No,
No?
yours is 2009. Is that? Oh yeah, it is you.
Yeah.
You've done 2.
Yeah, I did those 2.
Very good.
So there you go.
As you can see, our stitching is so different, but we still enjoy each other's stitching company.
Yeah, what we've done.
Yeah.
What we're stitching on.
Encouragement.
Yeah. And the things that we each do, and we're sort of like, oh, I like that. And we may or may not end up doing it ourselves.
Yeah. Now, I can't remember what the name of this fabric is, but it's definitely a Zweigart, and it's yeah,
it's different.
it is, and it's a blackbird, and I had to do this when I saw it. I just had to do it. So there we go. Peace, blah blah blah. God, here we go again. Peace and plenty. There we go. And it has got my initials on, and did it in 2019. Yep, 2019. So before lockdown. And I really do like that one. There we go. So I hope you like that. Again, you know what I got out the other last night for another one? I've got some foam core, and that would
fit, wouldn't it?
That would fit on there. And it is A4 size, so I could easily get a frame for that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and there's even eyelets in it as well. Don't know if you can see that or not. So it's not just cross stitch. There is speciality stitches in there as well. Yeah, but that, can you see it?
Oh yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
first time I'd ever done eyelets, and the border was a pain. I remember I ripped it out twice at least, and I remember messaging my friend saying, I've had enough, it won't match. But there we go, it's all done, all sorted.
Right, cottage country cottage needleworks now. I do have the companion pieces for this.
Do you?
I've just never got around to doing them yet. And it's Christmas carols. I just love it. I used to go to the Christmas carol service on Christmas Eve with my mum up at our church, our local church, and we'd go up there, we'd have a cup of tea when we came out, and then we'd come back down the road and we'd make some toast, have another cup of tea, and then we'd open one present.
Before Christmas Day?
Oh, that with my mum. She always... I can remember the year I bought her one of those porcelain dolls, and she won't go into bed until I allowed her to open it. I think we got to her bed about 3 o'clock that morning. But yeah, I loved stitching on this. It's a Zygarde linen, direct from the Zygarde factory in Berlin, courtesy of an old friend of mine.
Well, mine are fire dyers and everything else.
Yeah, this was actually bought from the factory.
All right, I'll let you off.
So yeah, she was living in Berlin at the time, and she went for a tour around the Zygarde factory and came out with some linen. So I've got this lovely, it's a very pale green, and I've got some lovely blue as well, which I've used for some of the country cottage ones that I've done. I love the colours in it, and all of those carols we would have sung at Ray.
We would have sung them at school.
Well, I remember doing a Christmas tree. We learned it, the original German, a Christmas tree, O Tannenbaum. And my friend and I were sitting, we'd come home from school, we'd been practising it, and we were sitting through in the bedroom, sitting around the paraffin heater with mugs of hot chocolate, singing O Tannenbaum. And I had my back to the bedroom door, and I could see Lynn's face. Her eyes were getting wider and wider. She was still singing, but her eyes were getting wider and wider. I was like, oh, shit. And the next thing, I was seeing stars, because my brother had, who's younger than me, had dragged the frying pan up the hall behind him and whacked me around the back of the head with it, because he didn't like our singing. And people wonder why we don't get on. So yeah. And Tannenbaum was actually, because remember I was talking yesterday about the Scarecrow Festival up at Burley, where we go to the Red Lion. Well, they also do a treasure trail as well up there. And we were wandering around one day doing this treasure trail, and there was one that we couldn't find even. And there was this guy out doing his garden, and he asked us, are you doing the treasure trail? And we said, yeah. And he said, which one can you not find? And I showed him, and he went, what's the German name for Christmas tree? And I went, Tannenbaum. We were a house across the road called Tannenbaum. So there you go. What you learn in primary school always does you in good faith in later life.
Remember that, kids. Remember that. Right. We were on about heaven and earth earlier. This is my one and only finish on heaven and earth. And it's a jasmine, Griffith, something or other. Anyway, there we go.
Hello, Belle. I love that. I love the eyes on it.
You see, my sister, I have numerous sisters, by the way, but Leslie, it freaks her out. Absolutely freaks her out. She can't look at it. She says it's the eyes.
I think the eyes are fabulous, and the swan down here as well.
Yeah. And that's a mini.
Yeah.
So it's quite big. But that was the only one I finished.
Yeah.
And I finished that last year, if you remember, for Roll the Dice.
Yes, we were cheering you on to try and get it done before midnight at New Year. Can't remember if you did or not, but
I can't remember. But yeah, so that's my only finished paid
No, I like that.
Looks massive, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Side of your head.
She's got a slightly bigger head than me.
Yeah. There we go. So, oh, she's got this one all poshly rolled up.
Well, I started doing this rather than have them folded up, because you end up with creases. I thought,
do you know what I'm putting mine on after last time? A trouser hanger.
Yeah, well, I've got one of mine. I need to go and buy some more, I think. So this is another Country Cottage Needleworks.
Oh, I remember you finishing this.
Yes, it was another one that I did in Roll the Dice. And this one's Afternoon in Paris. Loved stitching this. I'm going to, there's 4 in the series. So there's Paris, Rome, London and New York.
I've got Paris, London. I might actually have Rome.
I've got Paris and London. I haven't got New York yet. I was going to do them. So obviously I've been to Paris, been to London, been to New York, but I have never been to Rome.
I have.
So I thought I would do the ones where I'd been, and then I would just have to go to Rome and then stitch Rome afterwards.
But we might be changing that next year.
Rome's a lot further south than where we're going to be, though.
No, but I did Rome on one of those trips.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where were you staying?
Montepello.
Yeah, but that's south.
No. It's the trip that I did when I nearly broke my arm.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. Okay. So, yeah, I did Rome then.
We can always go back the following year and do Rome and some other places. So yeah.
Planning on doing a road trip next year. I did mention it to the husband last night and he went, what? Okay, she's saying hello to the cat.
That's my basket.
So we might be going to Italy next year on a coach trip.
Yes.
Coach trip.
Oh.
What she didn't realise is on the coach trip to get to Italy, there's a massive tunnel she's to go under. Yeah, we'll be blindfolding her.
Can we not go on, because I'm claustrophobic, and having to go through tunnels is not good. I've been through the Lincoln Tunnel going into New York and I had a major panic attack doing that.
Well, if we make sure you're asleep.
Are you going to knock me out?
Yeah. They always go that way at least once, just to it's when you go through Switzerland. There's a massive tunnel and it gets right warm in the middle.
What are they doing to me? Are you coming up? Come on then, Belle.
And she's trying to get the timid cat on her knee.
Well, she's been on my knee before. She's been on my knee before. So yes, so that was Paris. So I've got London, as I said, and I will get it kitted up and I may put it into next year's roll dice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will get her working on more than one at a time now.
Well, I do not. I've got loads of WIPs, but since we've been doing roll the dice, I have been pretty much sticking to it. I haven't got to the point with any of them, apart from maybe that horrible fairy.
Oh yeah.
I did go off and stitch something else when she came out.
Right, we have another lovely sampler for you, and it is Anne Morrison. And it's oh, I can't move. Hands Across the Sea sampler, so it's another hats. And Can you see all those lovely, lovely, lovely? My mind's gone blank, can't you tell?
Islets.
That's the word, islets. We had a debate between me and the girls because on the instructions it said it was the 8-legged islets. And no, it needs to be 16-legged. So I did 16-legged. And as you can probably tell, that love heart in the centre killed me. I was so glad to get that finished. But yeah, so that is Anne Morrison. It was a stitch along by Hats, and if I remember rightly, you can't get the pattern anymore because it was a stitch along. So anyway, that's mine. Ta-da! And for anybody else, they're all 40 count. Goes without saying. Oh, I like this one. I wouldn't do it myself, but I like it.
So this is a Dermot Water Designs. It was a Dermot Water Designs kit. It's called Lily Pond Cottage. It's one of the Reflections series. Did it for Roll the Dice. Finished it last year.
You did, yeah?
I did, yes. I was very pleased to get it finished. And obviously using the called for threads, but I swapped out the fabric in the kit for a 28 count.
Bone?
No, it's not bone.
Is it?
No.
All right. Nice.
Tent bone. It is lovely, and there's some gold Kreinik in there, just sort of down here and along where there's supposed to be the reflection. And you can just see it on. But yeah, it was really, really lovely to stitch. It really was. And the bit that gave me most problems was this tree at the side.
Yeah, it did take you a while.
It took me a while to once I got the tree done. You know,
Yeah.
I galloped ahead with it.
Okay.
But yeah, so another finish. I've managed quite a few finishes through Roll the Dice.
You have? Close to where we live is Bronte country. You know, it's the Bronte sisters, the authors. And there was part of Bradford where they were born, and then they moved to Haworth. But I managed to locate a reproduction sampler for one of the Bronte sisters, and it is Charlotte Bronte. Look at all that again. There we go. So we've got Charlotte Bronte, and it's one of the reproduction samplers. And the original apparently is at the Parsonage Museum in Haworth. Now Emily's done one, but I haven't been able to locate that one yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Did I not do one?
I don't think so.
Bramwell probably didn't even sew.
No. No, not unless it included drinking.
Well,
He liked his beer, did Bramwell.
well, we quite often have a tipple when we're stitching, don't we?
But yeah, so that is Charlotte Bronte. And yes, we could fit another sampler on there. Or 3.
Yeah. If you could get the other ones, if you could get the
do them.
Emily one, you could do them all side by side.
Yeah.
And then frame them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another roll the dice.
Yes.
This looks massive. Is it 14 count?
No, it's 18. think.
Is
Or
it?
16. Oh, I can't remember. I would have to look. So this was another Derwent Water Designs. I used to go, when my mum was alive, I used to go to her Women's Guild outings with her and her two friends. We'd go on a coach trip somewhere, spend the day there and then come back again. Women's Guild in Scotland is the equivalent of the Women's Institute down here. I don't know what the equivalent is in America.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. There will be something. So I had started doing this one. It was from a kit, and my mum's friend Nan, who I always sat beside on the coach, she took one look at it and she went, "Oh, I love that, it's gorgeous." And I thought, I'll finish it for her. So I stitched away at it, stitched away. My mum died, but I kept in touch with both Margaret and Nan, and I kept going to the trips with them. And then I was getting close to finishing it. I thought, it's her birthday coming up soon, I'll get it finished for her birthday. And she died very unexpectedly, so I never got it finished. And I literally had a tiny little bit down here to do, and then just some back stitching and some long stitch for the grass, and that was all that I needed to do. And of course it just went into a drawer, and because I just didn't have the heart to do it. But
can you do me a big favour? I don't want to sound rude, but don't stitch me out.
do you know, you're not the only one that said that to me recently. So it's finished, and I do actually have a frame in the house that will probably fit it. So yeah, so
yeah, and I love you dearly, but
don't stitch you anything.
don't stitch me out.
Right, okay.
This one and the next one I thought I'd lost. I was in panic mode all week. I've not been sleeping because I'm thinking, where on earth have I put it? So firstly we have Jane Marshall.
She came out of the Australian wildfires the other
Yeah,
year,
it's
didn't
Hands Across the Sea. It was raising money for the Australian wildfires. There we go. Guess what fabric it's on?
Dr. Smith's tonic?
It is, yeah.
Getting good at this.
I know. So yeah, and it's in the Called for DMC.
I've got this one, but I've never got around to doing it.
And this is what I got this out for after I found it, because it's a perfect size to go on there. So
yeah.
So I'm going to have a go at like lacing and framing a piece of work.
Yeah.
If anybody knows of any classes,
Local.
let us know. Local, because we would love to learn how to do it and save a few pennies by doing our own.
Yeah.
So we can spend it more on stitchy stuff.
Yeah, I was saying that I thought that Nimble Thimble used to do them in the space upstairs, but I don't know if they do them anymore, so it might be worth trying to find out.
Oh, what?
I've picked out more than one.
What, you're only showing one?
I know.
Oh. Oh, that's cute.
This is Gourmet Dining by Calico Crossroads, otherwise known as Cats by Kelly. And I actually started this on a flight to New York.
Alright.
Quite a long time ago. In fact, it would have been 2001, because it was the year of when the towers were.
Alright,
were struck, and we were there in March and April. So yeah. So and I got it because my cat that I had at the time, when she was a kitten, I was always having to drag her out of the kitchen bin because her bum, it was one of these flip-top ones.
Oh, yeah.
And her bum was always sticking out. I'd walk past the kitchen and her bum and her tail was sticking out, and I always had to haul her back out again. So, yeah.
I like how it's black and white, and then you've got this colour section here.
That's
really
what
cool.
I love, because I hate doing black work, but I love doing these because they're actually creating the picture that you're looking at. And then you just have all of them, they just have this little splash of colour somewhere. It'll either be a plant, or I've got a couple of them framed in the craft room, and there's a goldfish bowl with some colourful fish floating about in it. So yeah.
Brilliant, well done.
And these were done on Ada. It was before I switched to using 28 count.
This is my first ever sampler, and it's Carriage
House samplings.
Yes, something like that, yeah. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is just a natural swag art that I did it on. And my usual trick, way
too much fabric.
Yeah. So I really like that.
Better to overestimate than underestimate.
Yeah. And I really do like it. It's, what does it say? It's, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. So yeah, I do like that one.
She looks like a 17th century milkmaid or something, doesn't she?
A posh one.
A posh one. Yeah. Those are obviously her pet sheep.
And her Sunday dress.
Yeah.
So,
but she's got a crook, so she is the shepherdess.
But she's in a Sunday best.
Well, yeah, because she's just come back from church.
Clearly. So that was my first ever sampler.
I like that. I like the dress, actually.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
So,
yeah, I like that.
As you can see, there's a theme to my finishes.
Yes. Too much fabric and no framing.
I meant samplers, actually. No, I'm just ignoring you. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's okay.
You'll be walking home.
It's all downhill, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's all downhill.
Yeah. So this is another Calico Crossroads. It doesn't actually have a name, this one. It's a Christmas one.
Hence the Christmas tree and the baubles.
Yeah, as you can see, we've got coloured baubles.
Because it's Christmas.
Because it's Christmas. And there is some chronic in there as well for the tinsel.
Tinsel, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the chronic. They always have this paw print in the corner as well. It's her little signature. The frames are always the same as well.
They're brilliant. Totally different, aren't they?
They are, they're lovely. As I say, I think I've got about 3 of them framed.
Right. But
they've stopped because it used to be a company called Spider's Web who used to come to the
Harrogate.
I don't know if they probably did go to Harrogate. They always came up to Glasgow, and I used to get these from them. And I can remember the chap saying to me one year, "You're going to have to stitch faster because I was getting them as they came out, and they were quite slow to start off with. So every time I went, March and November or October, whenever it was, and I would buy 1 or 2, whatever ones I didn't have. But as time went on, there was more and more and more of them. And Susie has seen these. She took a liking to these, so she's managed to get some of them. But the frames, there was a framer who was always across from Spider's Web, and he did the black frames specifically for
Oh,
these.
right, yeah.
And of course, he's not there either now. So, and I was trying to get them all framed in the same frames. What I should have done was buy several of the frames at a time. But yeah. So I'll just have to have a look and see if I can find something similar.
Yeah. You see, I should have had this one week before last.
Yeah.
That's a la-di-da. It's on a sparklies.
I love this.
Why?
I don't know, I just love it. I just think it's gorgeous.
It's on a sparklies fabric. I don't know the name of it because a couple of years ago she did some Easter kits and it was in there. And the threads were sparklies threads as well. And it was just 2 of her threads. And I really did like this one. And yeah, I should frame it and have it out at Easter. But next year.
Yes.
You know, because this Easter's
Gone.
So that's that one. I've got 2 left.
You've got 2 left and I've got 4 left. So will I do 2?
Hurry up then.
Okay, so...
Not that I'm rushing her out because you might want to go to the toilet. You might want to make a cuppa.
Oh, we've done over an hour again.
Now my husband reckons we should only do 45 minutes.
What does her husband know?
Because you might get bored.
No, you won't get bored of us.
He's got a nerve, hasn't he?
Right, he's going to get right, get slapping when I see him.
He's upstairs watching football.
Yeah, as long as he don't bring Yoda down, he's all right. Or Marina. Oh, look!
Oh! Spare fabric, I see.
Spare fabric, yeah. This is called Wahoo Life is Good. Can't for the life of me remember. Well, that's what it says on the thing.
I've never seen it before, that's all.
I can't remember who it is, but I do still have the... I would have to look in my book. I'll tell you later. And if I remember, I'll tell you the next time we're on. I think I got the chart... I actually probably get the whole lot in an exchange.
Right.
On one of the stitching groups I was on. And because it was a small one, I thought, I'll just start it and I'll do it. So I did it and I finished it quite quickly. But yeah, it was a nice stitch. And I really should get a little frame and put it in, but maybe one of these days. And this one here, I think is just Nan, but I could be wrong.
See, that's a perfect small.
Yeah. It's called Royal Blossoms. There's quite a lot of specialty stitches in there. There's lots of beading in it as well. And the most gorgeous bee charm in the centre. And it was lovely to stitch as well. I really enjoyed that one. And again, I think it was someone that gave me the chart.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's just lovely. It's pretty, isn't it? But yes, it would be nice made into a little small, just made into a little pillow or something, and it could go in and be displayed in there.
Maybe we need a day at the pub making smalls. Just a thought, putting it out there.
We could do, yeah. You can just see Stuart coming in going, what are you doing?
Stuart's the landlord of the pub, by the way. There we go, we've got a modern folk embroidery on a piece of sparklies opalescent. I don't know the name of the fabric, and the thread is Silks for You.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the first time I ever used Silks for You.
It's nice. I love the colours in it.
Yeah, and my usual trick. So, yeah, I like that one. I've even got a frame for it to go in. I bought a frame for it and it's quite a big one, but as you can see it's not framed yet.
Yeah.
So there you go. Waiting for you.
Oh right, okay. Sorry. So
No, they'll be getting bored now.
It's really creased, this. And you heard us talking about us going off on a little what they like.
Oh, she's looking at the cats because they're both curled up
Together, which is quite unusual, apparently.
Is it? Oh, they're always curled up together.
Are they?
Yeah.
They just don't like each other.
Well, they are mother and daughter.
Yeah.
Would you curl up with your mum?
No, she snored.
There you go then.
So I went on a coach trip about 6 years ago, or 5.5 years ago, and we went to Prague, Budapest, and Vienna. And while we were sat on the coach, I was stitching away, and this is what I stitched. And it's a Lizzie Kate. It's from the I think it's the little booklet, Little Cups of Friendship.
Ah, right, okay.
Because there's another 2 patterns and I was always going to do all 3 of them and frame them and put them in the kitchen. And of course I finished that one. So I might do the other 2 when we go on the coach trip next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do, couldn't I?
Good idea.
Yeah. And the last one, I couldn't remember if you guys had seen this or not last week. I just could not remember. But this was, it's another Lizzie Kate, and it was a...
You see, another pillow?
Yeah, it's a Christmas ornament, mistletoed. I just love it. It just appeals to my sense of humour. And I did him more years than I care to remember, and one of these days he will make it on the tree. It might even be this year.
Well, you've got last year to make up for.
Yes. Tree didn't go up last year because I was in hospital. And Ellie would only have had to take it down again. And I would have sat there and given her directions.
This was a freebie.
I have this freebie as well.
That we were, one of the organisers for our retreats, Sam, she went to help out at Nashville, you know, for the trade fair and everything.
At the last retreat we had.
Yeah, and this was, yeah, the last retreat before lockdown. Bearing in mind, lockdown happened on the 23rd of March in the UK. This was the weekend before we had our retreat, so we were lucky to get our retreat in. But this was a freebie. There we go. And yeah, it is a small. So I have done a couple. Yeah. And I can't remember the name of the designer, can you?
No.
So I'll see if we can find out who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, she bought us all a copy of the pattern back from the designer. And guess what?
I wondered when she was going to show me.
Look!
All that fabric. How big did you think it was?
And this fabric is it's an even with 32 count.
Is it a printed?
Yeah, it's fiddlesticks. Oh, it's a printed one. So it's just printed on one side. Fabric Fair.
Yeah, they're usually the ones that do the prints.
So it's a Fabric Flare one. There we go. Impressed?
Yeah. I quite like those printed ones if you're doing things like coasters.
Yeah.
Because you can see the printed sides, but then the back is just plain, so you don't feel bad about hiding it inside a coaster.
So, my friends,
I must get around to doing that one as well.
That's your lot for now.
Yeah.
You say thank the Lord. But yeah, so that's our WIPs for, well, not fully finished projects. when I ain't even started on WIPs, because I have a lot. Now, if you're all sat there wondering what on earth this is behind me, I thought I'd use the radiator to rest stuff onto. But this is a sampler that I did for, what was it? What's the name of the company now?
Is it Polestar, isn't it? No,
No.
it's the Northumberland one.
Yeah, Northumberland Sampler House. And it's called Jane and James. And it's to celebrate their wedding in 1767. And this is, I know it's a sampler, but what is the word I'm looking for?
Reproduction.
It's a reproduction sampler, but this is the first, I was the first one to stitch it, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And this is what's on the cover of the charts, if you buy it. Because, oh, she's put on the back, Jane and James, 1767 reproduction antique sampler, original held in the collection of the Northumberland Sampler House. There we go. So, and all these here are queen stitches, and you've got four-sided stitch. Now, I do like it, but I think I might have used a lighter fabric, so these popped a bit more, you know, because of the colours that she's used. Well, she sent me. There we go. You can see a bit better.
I love the bolder on that one.
Yeah. So there we go. So don't forget to press that subscribe button and that bell to remind you when we do another. Like I said before, we're going to try and do them every 2 weeks.
But we may squeeze an extra one in when we're in France next month.
We've got France. 3 weeks. We'll be in France.
Going to get my passport tomorrow.
There's nothing like leaving it to the last minute, is there? We go in less than 3 weeks' time and she's still no passport. So she's having to go to Durham tomorrow to go sort the passport out.
Yeah. Well, I might get to go into Durham Castle because I've never been in. Or Durham Cathedral, or both.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice place, is Durham.
I like Durham.
So,
Durham.
Durham, 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 Durham. Sorry. Nuts, I know.
Yeah.
So, don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends all about us.
Yeah.
Come on, we need to try and get more views on this one than we did the last one.
Yeah, and we've had over 600 views on the last
we
one.
have.
And the previous one. So, yeah.
That's not quite 600 yet.
Isn't it?
No, it was 592, something like that, yeah, when I last looked.
Oh, gosh. We may have to do something about that. May have to go back and watch it.
But yeah, at the moment we've got 118 subscribers, which after 2 videos I personally think is brilliant.
I think it's pretty amazing.
So thank you from the bottom of our hearts again. Okay, and do you have any final words of wisdom?
Enjoy the next 2 weeks, stitch up a storm, and let us know in the comments what you'd like us to talk about in future FlossTubes. If there's anything specific you want us to talk about or show you or whatever, just let us know.
We've got plenty of stash we can talk about.
Yeah.
Loads of stash. So, okay.
We might even do a stitch with us.
We can do that far.
We can do a stitch with us while we're in France. Well, we'll think about it.
We'll think about that one. I love a daily, don't get me wrong, but
just want to show you this before we go. This is the first big score new I ever made.
Oh.
It was a practice one. That was my very first attempt. Look how small it is.
That's the right size, is that, I reckon.
Oh no, I prefer the bigger ones.
Okay.
But yeah.
Right, on that note, have a fabulous 2 week stitching and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.